What's up, frequency cousins? Welcome back to my little corner of the universe. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Esleen, also known as Esleen the Alchemist. I'm an intuitive artist, channeler, and divine messenger who uses creativity and symbolism to explore the energies, stories, and themes that may be present for us in this moment. Now, my readings are a little different. Before I even touch the cards, I create an intuitive piece of art. I don't plan it, I don't sketch it out, and genuinely have no idea what I'm doing half the time. But just trusting the vibes. I allow myself to slow down into a meditative theta like state, connect with the Akashic records, and let whatever wants to come through come through. The colors, shapes, textures, symbols, and even the emotions that arise while creating often become the first layer of the message. Then I use tarot and oracle cards to add further insight, perspective, and symbolism to what the artwork is already saying. Think of the art as the opening conversation and the cards as the friends that comment like, actually, and another thing. Okay, you may be wondering, how the F does one pick the right artwork? Well, I got you, cousin. Firstly, let's take a nice deep breath. There is no right or wrong way to choose which reading is for you. You might feel drawn to a particular artwork because of its colors, the expression within it, the medium used, a specific detail that catches your eye, or maybe your spirit is just like, shit, that's the one. And you just can't explain why. That's fine. In fact, that's kind of the point. Trust that. And please don't stress yourself out trying to pick correctly. This is not an exam. You're not being graded by the universe. Sometimes one of them is going to call out to you. Sometimes multiple of them are going to call out to you. Maybe there's more than one message for you, cousin. Rock with it. You may also find that not every single message resonates. Remember, this is a general reading and multiple energies can be present at once. Take what feels aligned, leave what doesn't, and trust your own discernment. A gentle reminder. These readings are intended for entertainment, inspiration, and personal reflection. They're not a substitute for professional medical, legal, financial, or mental health advice. Tarot and intuitive readings do not remove your free will. The cards reflect possibilities, patterns, and perspectives, not fixed outcomes. Most importantly, these readings are invitations to connect more deeply with yourself. I simply hold up the mirror. You're the magic. You're the wisdom. You're the one living your life. All right, frequency cousins, get comfy, grab your emotional support beverage, unclench your jaw. If you picked artwork 1, welcome to your reading. First things first, we're going to go through with the channeled messages that came through when I made this artwork. And that was very busy bee energy. I kept seeing a beehive, which is the Parliament building in Aotearoa, New Zealand. It's in Wellington. Perhaps you have, connections to law and politics. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Perhaps you maybe you are the queen bee. Maybe you have that specific type of energy. Okay. Even Beyonce, hey, that beehive too. Perhaps you're part of that beehive if the other doesn't resonate. Yeah, so the connection to criminal law, criminology, but the deeper message feels like it's connected to structure and systems and expectations mainly. This artwork feels like someone who spent a long time navigating environments where there was a certain way that they were expected to act, think, or exist. The strongest message coming through, though, is you're a star, babe. You're a star. You're meant to be seen. However, some of you have spent a lot of time, dimming your light because your brightness may have made other people uncomfortable. Perhaps the structure and the systems and the expectations did not have the ability or the capacity to hold your brightness, and that's why it made people uncomfortable. You may have been made to feel like you're too much, too smart, too creative, too expressive, too different. But according to who? Okay. Because honestly, fuck that. Blind the hoes, alright? You're not here to make yourself smaller. It's a reminder to stop editing yourself into something more digestible for other people. You know color, you know composition, you know how to create. You gotta trust your eye and trust your ideas and trust the parts of yourself that naturally know how to express. There's also like a strong inner child energy coming through. And it doesn't feel like just like healing your inner child. It feels like more so remembering them because of all this structure and expectations, consistently asking you to forget them. And yeah, you have to remember the version of yourself that was curious, playful, expressive, and willing to explore without needing everything to make sense. For some of you, there is a feeling that you had to grow up way too quickly. You may have become the responsible one, the mature one, or the person who always had to follow structure. Spirit is asking you to reconnect with the parts of yourself that were allowed to be strange, creative, and free. Get weird again. Create something that just you want to. Explore something that interests you. Let yourself play without needing to justify why it matters. Is the fuck? Some of your dreams, desires, and aspirations have been sitting untouched for far too long. They have not disappeared, they simply have been waiting for you to return to them. Another message coming through is that you may be carrying thoughts, opinions, and expectations that were never yours to begin with. I mean, come on. If you're living in the constructs of other people's worlds and what they think and believe to be right, and hey, we understand that a lot of those things are made as a survival tactic because it's like, hey, this is how I survived, and so I'm going to put this expectation structure onto you and ask you to live up to it because I want you to survive. And so it's one of those ways that specific generations and its parents or the institutions act as if that is a genuine care and stuff like that. And ultimately, it is their way of showing that and their understanding of that. They may not know more of that because that's how they experienced growing up and what that was put onto them. And especially if you've come from like your first generation or your there's history in your journey of this being something that has helped you survive, then hey, that's what will carry on. But yeah, ultimately other people's fears, beliefs, and limitations may have become so familiar that it started to sound like your inner voice. It's a time to release what isn't yours. You do not need to carry everyone else's projections in order to be loved or accepted. The deeper message of this artwork, which is when I pulled a few more cards just to get some extra messages, is about allowing yourself to be seen for who you truly are. Not the version of yourself that is polished, controlled, or easy for others to understand, but the authentic parts of yourself that you may have hidden away. After spending so long suppressing certain parts of yourself or staying in environments where those parts couldn't fully exist, some connections may have started to feel empty. Not necessarily because the people around you are wrong for you, but because they had never had the chance to meet the real you. I feel like there's two prominent parts available right now. One part is continuing to hide parts of yourself, eventually reaching a point where you feel disconnected because the people around you only know the version of you that has been surviving. The other part is taking a leap of faith and allowing yourself to be witnessed. Let people see your creativity, let people see your thoughts, let people see parts of yourself that you were taught to hide. Give others the opportunity to connect with the real you instead of deciding for them that they won't understand. The right people will meet you where you are. This isn't about becoming someone new, but finally allowing yourself to be who you've always been. Ultimately, I work on, as you can, as the advice is saying, get weird, be strange, let yourself be loved, and really test the environment, test everything around you if it's truly able to hold aspects of yourself. Because without that, again, the other pathway existing is you reaching to a point where you may feel disconnected because the people around you have only known a certain version of you that has been surviving. So give people a chance, give yourself a chance, and see what happens. It's about being curious and giving it a shot. Just give it a shot. Thank you so much for tuning in for your reading, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, frequency cousins, that brings us to the end of today's reading. I truly appreciate you for spending this little pocket of time with me and allowing me to read for you in this moment. If something resonated with you, feel free to let me know in the comments. I absolutely love hearing your experiences, your confirmations, and what messages stood out for you. And if you'd like a more personalized reading, I do offer private readings. You'll find the most up-to-date information on how to book through the links in my bio. Whether you're here for clarity, confirmation, a different perspective, or simply curious about what messages want to come through for you, I'd be honored to hold space for you. If you enjoyed today's reading, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely helps support my work and allows me to continue creating and sharing readings just like this one with our frequency family. If you feel called to support me a little further, you can also donate using the link in my bio. There's absolutely no expectation to do so, but every bit of support helps me continue creating and holding the space for all of us. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and don't give your power away, cousin. Your discernment matters. Take care of yourselves, be gentle with yourselves, drink some water, eat something if you need to, and keep choosing yourselves, cousin. Until next time, much love, Asleen the Alchemist. If you picked Outward 2, this is your reading. I will be starting off with the channel messages that came through when I was making the artwork. And the first message that came through for this one was pretty simple. Do not think about it too much. The energy feels very serendipitous. It's like a reminder to stop trying to calculate every outcome and allow yourself to move with the natural rhythm of life. I kept receiving themes around like movement, dance, music, chanting, mantra, something that brings you out of your head and back into your body. Something that reminds you that life is not always meant to be figured out. Sometimes it's just meant to be experienced. So the main message here is to allow, surrender, let it unfold. Even if something doesn't make complete sense to you right now, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. Sometimes the mind wants every detail explained before it feels safe enough to move. But this artwork is asking you to trust the process. For some of you, surrender may have arrived through exhaustion. You may have reached a point where you're tired of fighting, tired of trying to control everything, and tired of trying to hold everything together. However, the message coming through is that you're not giving up. You are giving in. There is a difference. Giving up comes from a feeling like there is no hope left. Giving in comes from recognizing that you cannot carry every single outcome on your own and allowing something greater than yourself to support it. You can't control everything, and that is okay. It's a relief, if anything. It's exhausting to keep feeling like you're supposed to have to control everything and it must be done by you. Some days you're going to feel like you're completely on top of life. Other days may feel messy, confusing, or uncertain. Both experiences are part of the journey. It doesn't need to be perfect. Messy is still movement. Baby steps are still steps. That doesn't matter. Right now, Spirit is asking you to stop fighting every little thing that is unfolding. Return to simplicity. Return to what actually matters. Remove the unnecessary noise. No overcomplicating, no forcing. or trying to make everything happen before it's ready. The deeper message when I pulled a few cards coming through that there may be too much external noise surrounding you right now. Too many opinions, too many expectations, too many voices telling you what you should do. Because of this, it may be difficult to hear your own voice. This artwork is encouraging you to spend genuine, quiet time with yourself, not replacing one distraction with another, but allowing yourself to exist in the present moment without constantly needing stimulation. Even if it feels uncomfortable at first, silence can reveal things that noise hides. The part that unfolds during the season of giving in is the part the spirit, the universe, or God is guiding you toward. You may have been asked for a while now to trust the divine and allow things to unfold instead of trying to force the outcome. However, this can be difficult when you have spent a long time in survival mode, when you've learned that the only person you can rely on is yourself. Surrender can feel almost impossible. But the season is teaching you a different way. Instead of focusing on what will help you regain control, focus on what genuinely moves you. What brings you closer to yourself? Question mark. What makes you feel connected? Question mark. What feels alive? Question mark. This moment where things may not be going exactly how you planned is not here to punish you. It is strengthening your relationship with the divine and your own inner knowing. Sometimes surrender only arrives after we have held on tightly for far too long. Right now, your focus is to discover who you are without the noise. Surrender everything else. Allow yourself to be guided toward what is truly aligned for you. Because that's what's most important. You're being stripped bare to the actual things that matter. There's too much shit going on. There's too much noise. You need to focus on the simplicity, on what actually is beneath all the distractions. I've got a really noisy airplane flying over my crib right now, and I remember when I tried to record this the first time, there was just so much noise happening. It was just hard to focus. If you've got so many things pulling at your energy, you're going to respond in ways that it's not feeling innate to who you are as a person. So it's about sort of like putting yourself in environments that give you genuine ability to sit with yourself instead of just forcing yourself to be in places and be like, oh, I have to be quiet. Because it's almost like you're trying a part of the subconscious sometimes, because we can tell ourselves, yeah, okay, everything's hard, everything's, there's so much that you go and almost like put yourself in situations where you're going to manifest even more, or attract, or whatever what word you like, to reiterate that the idea that it's too noisy, and almost get caught up in the looping of being pulled in and emotionally aggravated by circumstances in a certain way, which just adds to the pooling and the stack of issues that happens inside the brain. So prioritize creating places and environments, putting yourself in places that just don't, that 100% this is not going to be anything prodding you. And it really doesn't even have to be that long. It can even just be 15 to 20 minutes of it's going to be quiet and no distractions. That much can do so much for resetting the body and the system, rather than pushing in all these other ways. So yeah, see yourself outside of the noise is what you need to hear right now. And what wants to be set free is all the weight of responsibility at this time. Thank you so much for tuning in for your reading, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, frequency cousins, that brings us to the end of today's reading. I truly appreciate you for spending this little pocket of time with me and allowing me to read for you in this moment. If something resonated with you, feel free to let me know in the comments. I absolutely love hearing your experiences, your confirmations, and what messages stood out for you. And if you'd like a more personalized reading, I do offer private readings. You'll find the most up-to-date information on how to book through the links in my bio. Whether you're here for clarity, confirmation, a different perspective, or simply curious about what messages want to come through for you, I'd be honored to hold space for you. If you enjoyed today's reading, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely helps support my work and allows me to continue creating and sharing readings just like this one with our frequency family. If you feel called to support me a little further, you can also donate using the link in my bio. There's absolutely no expectation to do so, but every bit of support helps me continue creating and holding the space for all of us. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and don't give your power away, cousin. Your discernment matters. Take care of yourselves, be gentle with yourselves, drink some water, eat something if you need to, and keep choosing yourselves, cousin. Until next time, much love, Esleen the Alchemist. If you picked Artwork 3, welcome to your reading. I'll be starting off with the channel messages that came through when I made this artwork. With this one specifically, the feeling of overthinking was very prominent. This feels like someone who's trying to understand everything, organize everything, and figure out the right way forward. And I did. My little fingers, me too. I said, what the fuck is it called? Doesn't matter. You know what I'm trying to say. Eh? Anyways, there's don't want to overthink it. Yeah, there's a feeling of wanting things to happen a certain way, while also feeling emotionally exhausted from constantly trying to make sense of everything. Right now, I've got this almost like, I think it's a pressure cooker. Or I don't know if it's a pressure cooker, if the water's running upstairs with the tenants, but they're like, releasing pressure, releasing the steam type of vibe. Anyways, let's carry on. For some of you, and yeah, you may be getting distracted as well because there's so much going on in the brain. For some of you, this may show up as anxiety, detachment, or feeling like you've had to disconnect from your emotions because it simply has become too overwhelming. I feel a strong theme of being in between things, between decisions, between timelines, between different versions of yourself. Probably a lot going on, honestly. Feels like you are standing at a crossroads trying to decide which direction to take while waiting for a clear answer to appear. However, the message coming through is that you may not find clarity by thinking harder, you may find it by experiencing more. This artwork is asking you to bring more color, movement, and vibrancy back into your life. Something needs to shift. You need to feel something different. Step outside of your usual environments. Break your routines. Do something spontaneous. Go somewhere new. Spend time around trees. Go to the beach. Reconnect with nature. Nature will help you reconnect with yourself because it'll show you that what genuinely feels good, what feels aligned, and what no longer fits. You may discover what you actually want is very different from what you thought you wanted. Maybe there's stuff going on with the throat chakra because the other two I just recorded, I wasn't having so much going on. Yeah, things that just need to get out as well. And again, with the stuff of just doing different things, it's like everywhere, everything all at once helps you jump into different timelines or allow for new things to come up when you break the loop and break the constraints of what system you have curated from the same, by doing the same thing over and over again. Anyways, I don't know if I said this, but I'm gonna repeat it. You may discover that what you actually want is very different from what you thought you wanted. The answers you're looking for are already within you. Journal, write things down, break it apart, look deeper. Because you've thought as much as you've needed to. So it's like, okay, let me put all these thoughts down onto paper and just look at them, observe them, and break it apart and look deeper. The deeper message after pulling some cards coming through is that something has happened that has caused you to become guarded. For some of you, this may relate to a relationship, an intimate connection, or someone close to you. For others, it may be connected to finances, stability, or simply the overwhelming state of the world and the systems around us. Patriarchy, matrix, etc. Honestly, it could even be the... Oh shit, I just repeated myself. Whatever it is, something has made you feel like you need to protect yourself. However, there is still a part of you that wants more. There's still a part of you that knows there's something beyond your current circumstances. Take care of that part. Nurture the version of yourself that still believes life can expand, even if your external reality has not caught up yet. You still have the ability to reroute. You still have the ability to rewrite the story. This is a time to look within, but also to challenge yourself to step outside of the patterns and keep you stuck in the same cycles. Take action towards your desires, even if everything around you is not currently reflecting them. Sometimes reality does not change first. Sometimes you have to move first, and reality begins to realign where you are heading. If you're feeling disconnected from people right now, spend time with animals, spend time with trees, reconnect with the energies that exist naturally within divine order. You'll meet yourself in the reflection of these beings. Sometimes nature reminds us who we are when the world becomes too loud. Pretty simple in that aspect of, it is simplifying things, because I know human beings just overcomplicate shit all the time. So going back to nature and finding yourself within the divine order of the natural elements of planet Earth is much more available than having to decipher with human beings. I think ultimately, yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, frequency cousins, that brings us to the end of today's reading. I truly appreciate you for spending this little pocket of time with me and allowing me to read for you in this moment. If something resonated with you, feel free to let me know in the comments. I absolutely love hearing your experiences, your confirmations, and what messages stood out for you. And if you'd like a more personalized reading, I do offer private readings. You'll find the most up-to-date information on how to book through the links in my bio. Whether you're here for clarity, confirmation, a different perspective, or simply curious about what messages want to come through for you, I'd be honored to hold space for you. If you enjoyed today's reading, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It genuinely helps support my work and allows me to continue creating and sharing readings just like this one with our frequency family. If you feel called to support me a little further, you can also donate using the link in my bio. There's absolutely no expectation to do so, but every bit of support helps me continue creating and holding the space for all of us. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and don't give your power away, cousin. Your discernment matters. Take care of yourselves, be gentle with yourselves, drink some water, eat something if you need to, and keep choosing yourselves, cousin. Until next time, much love, Asleen the Alchemist.